Listen very carefully to all and sundry. I do not want you becoming a dead wood. If you cannot perform what is expected of you, then the best that you can do, for decency's sake, resign. And do not wait to be fired. Because masakit yan, mapahiya ka. And the only reason perhaps, not perhaps, but the only reason people would believe what the cause was, is that you are incompetent. Hindi ninyo ginagamit yung utak ninyo. Next time, you prepare the public. Yun, let's go to Art Tugade. Bago ako magsalita, ito nagkakaroon ng, saan ba yung ano ko? Yung kanya naman, yung sa RFID system na nagkabuhol-buhol in the first place. Ako ganito yan eh. Hindi ako nakialam muna. Because the traffic rules and regulations and the enforcement and the system itself sa isang syudad, sa mayor yan. Hindi sa amin. Sa mayor talaga yan. Kung saan kayo magdaan, kung saan dito. Kasi siya ang nakaalam sa problema ng kanyang syudad. So you do not come barging in and overruling them because they have that inherent right, yung business permit. Kasi ginagawa ng lahat ng mga mayors yan. If you do not comply, then your non-compliance would result in the adverse it has an adverse effect on the lives of people. The mayor has also a concurrent capacity also, just like me, to enforce the law. He uses yung power niya sa business. But that does not, it was not enough actually. More than just yung sa suspension, nakatulong yun. But meron niya mga batas na you know, pagkatapos ni Art, magsalita ako. Art, ikaw na muna.
Isa hong instruksyon na sinabi ko, pwede ba pag-ambulansya, sabi ko ho, Senator Bongo, pwede ba pag-ambulansya, saka yung mga trabahong kapulisan, huwag kayong mag-require dyan. Kung anong lane ang pwedeng gamitin na, gagamitin nila. Why? Because life and safety is at issue. Huwag nyo silang kontrolin. Hayaan ng free flow ng ambulansya saka yung mga kapulisan. Ito ho yung mabigat na sinabi ko. Study the removal of the barriers. Pag pumunta ho kayo sa tol, meron babaksak-baksak na ganyan. Bakit ho nila ginagawa yan? Ang aking suspetsa, sinisigurado nilang magkaroon ng bayaran. RFID ho yan. Tinanong ko ano yung penetration ninyo. Sabi nila 90%, 95% to 98%. Sabi ko, alisin nyo na lang yan, diretso na lang yan. Pag nagkaroon ng glitch, kasi ho, pag nagkaroon ng glitch, pila yan. Sagutin nyo na yun kasi that is a problem of the system. If it is a problem of the system, why should you make the travelers and the public suffer? You bear the cost because that is your system. Pag-aralan nyo lang sa lalong madaling panahon yan kasi i-implement ko talaga yan. Papaalis ko yung mga barriers. Yung mga toll plaza, yung small toll plaza, ganito ho yan. Meron yung malaki na toll, di ba? Primary. Tapos meron kang lilikuan sa kanan. Maliliit na toll ho yun. Ang nangyari po dyan, at nakita ko ito, iisa yung toll sa RFID pareho, tapos meron pang stickering ng RFID. Kaya nakaka-traffic sa lugar na tinatawag kagaya ng Karuhatan at Valenzuela. Huwag kayong mag-sticker dyan at paghiwalayin nyo yung cash at yung RFID para we can achieve a desirable flow of the traffic. Instruction ko ho yan. And ito ho, yung increase of wattage. Alam niyo ho, pag parating ka, minsan malayo pa, nababasa ka na kaagad eh. Minsan, kailangan idikit mo para mabasa ka eh. That is a work of wattage. Sabihin ko lang, Mr. President, if I may, Mr. Iya, sir, before the pandemic, ang RFID user was 1.4 million. Nung pinalabas ko ho yung DO na yan, as of 2 days ago, ang RFID user is 3.7 million. Ang ibig sabihin, madami na hong kumikiling at tumutungo sa RFID. And this is the culture which we are trying to create. Because once we create this culture or this psyche, then we can implement readily po ang tinatawag natin ng interoperability. And so, ito ho yung mga pangyayari. Alam ko ho na nakakabulahaw dahil sa mga nangyari. Nahihiya po ako sa Valenzuela, sa mga local government, sa mga nagmamaneho. Be assured that your Department of Transportation, together with the TRB, the LTO, and LTFRB, are trying its utmost best to achieve that interoperability so that, alam nyo, itong RFID, sir, di naman bago to eh. Matagal na to. Meron yung electronic ko nito nung panahon pa. Tapos binago lang. Ang ginawa lang ho natin dito, tinutulak ho natin talaga ito. Kasi makakatulong. Sabihin ko lang, Mr. President, what move us really to accelerate this? May of this year, Secretary Duque, 270 of our toll operator, employees of toll operators, nagka-COVID yan. Sila ho yung nagbibilang ng pera. Imaginin mo dyan, yung spread niyan. Kaya sabi namin, itigil yan. Punta tayo sa cashless. Kasi it was not only our desire to have a good flow of traffic in the tollways, it was our desire also to minimize the spread of COVID. Yun po ang nagtulak sa amin. Of course, madaming nasasagasaan.
Sagasaan mo?
Bigyan lang ho kami ng tiwala, gagawin ho namin yan. Talagang kailangan ho ito. Kailangan ho ito. Yun lang po, Mr. President. Again, I express my apologies to the users of the tollways, to the local government, for the convenience whatever is caused. Be assured that the inconveniences caused is not designed, is not intended. There will be a day-to-day curing moments. Consider what is happening now at what we call birthing experience. Pero aayusin po namin yan, Mr. President. Okay. Yun lang ho, Mr. Mayor President, thank you for the opportunity to ventilate certain issues related to RFID at NLEX.
Alam mo, Art, itong corporations, the one who built NLEX, no, ang kita nila dyan yung sa toll. Then they introduce an innovative system, pero hindi naman nila pinag-aralan. They don't have a trial run, see if it can be done in 2 or 3 days sa madaling araw, yung pagbasa ng reflectorized stickers. Hindi ito pinag-aralan. In other words, tama ka. Ang akin is it a fault of the system? Yes, because the system was not tested thoroughly, which would translate into something like an incompetence ang lahat na. Hindi ko masisi itong may-ari nitong silang Ramon ang Ayala, because mayroon tayong regulator. That's the purpose of having a regulatory board, yung toll. Mayroon tayong regulator. Ang problema, ang mga regulator is another set of incompetent people. they should not have allowed the system right now to put into use without a trial run of for about 1 week. At titignan nila and anticipate what would be the problem. That is the correct frame of mind. You expect the worst. Ako kasi gano, pag mayroon pa nangyari, sabi, may pumutok. Sa isip ko, sa 5 patay, I expect 10 because I know yung mga collateral damage. Ito, may system, but actually it's flawed. And the people behind this are really incompetent. Ang number one sana, ang regulator hindi pumayag na they would put up a new innovation in the flow of traffic sa mga NCLEX pati iba pa. At tinignan sana nila kung ano ang mga glitches. Hindi nila ginawa yon. And on the day of the implementation, anak ka ng puta, saan ka makita doon pa ilagay yung mga sticker while the traffic dequeuing was almost also exponential hanggang puwit na. Dumating na sa Manila. Anong klase itong? So, I thought that I placed people there using their, you know, if I may, yung kagaguhan ninyo, yung failure ninyo, would reflect on us. Hindi man sila, sabi ko nga, at the end of the day, when people would start to talk about in the days past, di ba, panahon ni Duterte, kita mo, nagkabuhol-buhol. Kami ang nasisiyon. Then, of course, an outstanding figure like Tugade, he gets the blame also. Kami ang napuputang ina kasi alam namin na ako may system, but it was not tried. If there's an innovation, you try to do it. Mag-dry run ka ng 1 linggo, madaling araw, kung walang traffic, at tignan ninyo. Ang problema ninyo, you have this business, you have this job, and yet you do not take time to really think about the people who are paying you. And for those who are the owner of the stall, nung gumawa niyan, alam ninyo, it behoves upon you to do your best because binabayaran kayo ng gobyerno. Ang taong nagbabayad nalulugi, ilalagay ninyo sa kompromiso. Yan ang problema dito. So, anybody now, I've seen this several times during in the past years that I have been your worker here in the office of the President. Ilang beses ko nakita yung incompetence, walang sistema. Kagaya rin nung iba, there's no system in the office. So, yung papel, pasa-pasa, it goes to a mere clerk, and it goes to the head of the office, then it goes back to what assessment. Pag you establish a system. If you cannot have a system in your office, sa lahat na ito, then kindly tell me, and I will get another one to do it for you and for me. Wala akong silbi dyan sa mga tao na ngayon magtaka kayo. Ito, it's not because Galvez is here. Na magtaka kayo, bakit military? Kasi ang military, bago mag-atake yan, may scout, tapos an replacement. There's always a system in every battle. And there is always a system in every war. But the problem is, I said, or what innovations or changes or reconfiguring you do not practice. Pagdating nung panahon doon, saan nakakita na nakikita ko sa TV, gusto kong pumunta doon. But in difference to Gatchalian, kasi ang from the traffic in Lex, but sa siyudad mismo, the whole of the city, the control of the traffic is always left to the local government. Local government yan. So, nandoon sa mayor, galit na galit, and I could understand his with all the conundrum of taking place. Pati ako magagalit talaga. And I understand this burst of anger, which is justified para matauhan kayo. Now, next time, itong Toll Regulatory Board, next time, kasi ang participation natin dito, kayong iba sa may-ari ng toll, yung Skywayan kung ano, ang participation natin is, kaya yan, I don't think you really know what is a regulator is. That's a problem. Basta ka na pumasok kayo sa gobyerno, take oath kayo, hindi ninyo alam the length and breadth of what a regulator must do. If I see another glitch is there, mayroon pala kayong dito, may memorandum pala kayo, Art. Saan yung mga tao? Can I fire them? Palitan ko na lang lahat. Yung may experience na, yung dumaan na administrasyon, I don't care if it's during the time of Aquino and Arroyo. Hindi ko matanggap yung incompetence niyo. Kasi kami ang nasisisi. And not only that, you work hardships on the people. May iba diyang masakit, yung iba diyan gustong, whatever, may personal necessities. Meron ba yung washroom yan sila dyan? Washroom. Toilet, comfort room. Diyan sa mga NLEX. You better put one before entering Malayo. If I do not say that, I will just...
Meron po.
I will just take over the... Bahala ng kaso-kaso tayo. I'll just take over the whole thing, the whole complex. Yung regulator yan ang inutil. I don't know kung sino, hindi ko kayo kilala. You're not even, I think, a supporter of my during the election time. Yun kasi ilagay mo yung may utang na loob ka. If you are that incompetent, my God, ay nahihiya ako sa mga tao. Sabi ko nga, sabihin ng mga tao, putang ina mo Duterte, kung ganun ka lang, mag-resign ka na. Tama. Tama ho kayo. Sabi ko nga, kung hindi ko kaya, bakit ako tatagal dito? And one more faux pas like that, another fiasco. Alis na kayong lahat. At ilagay ko na lang sa isang tao. You better have on call them regularly at Art, and pag hindi, just set them aside. Maglagay ka lang ng tao dyan, ng expert na magplano. Isang tao lang naman kailangan dyan eh. Magkuha ka ng military. Di ba maayos yan? Isang salita lang. Sabi mo lang, ayusin mo yan. Alam na nila anong gawin nila. That's the reason why. It's not because I am overly dependent on the military. I am an elected At saka hindi naman ako natakot magkudit-takot. Sinabi ko nga, sabihin lang ninyo, alis, huwag na kayo magdala ng tangke de guerra, alis ako. But the problem, ang ano natin is the people. Kung siya hindi mo kaya, Duterte, you know, I have to weed out incompetence. Listen very carefully to all and sundry. I do not want you becoming a deadwood. If you cannot perform what is expected of you, then the best that you can do, for decency's sake, resign. And do not wait to be fired. Because masakit yan, mapahiya ka. And the only reason perhaps, not perhaps, but the only reason people would believe what the cause was, is that you are incompetent. Hindi ninyo ginagamit yung utak ninyo. Next time, you prepare the public. Kayong mga regulators, if there are changes, if there are, I said, innovations there, let them practice it. Ayusin ninyo muna. Huwag kayo basta papasok-pasok, especially if it involves public interest and public safety. Tama ka talaga. Kunin mo na lang yan. Dalagay ka ng old hand dyan.